Hi everyone, so I'm just having a casual day in the studio. Everything is calmed down quite a bit, and so now I can just play around and get some little projects done. So I'm going to cut some soap in this video. Some of the batches I have here waiting for me. This is my Calendula carrot soap. I just love this soap so much, and most of these soaps today are for special projects, but some of it will be listed for sale also. The inside of Calendula carrot. Be sure to check out the description box because I do put links and information down there. Tell you where my cutters are from. This is my favorite cutter that I've had, so I highly recommend it. It's from Smith Creek Studio. They're not always available, but when they are, you gotta get one. Just do it. Alright, so I don't need the splitter anymore, so I'm going to put it away and I will come back to cut. All is calm, and this is a special project for a customer. I don't know if I'll have any additional to list or not, but we'll see. This one got a little wild. I tried to recreate the last batch of All is Calm that I made, but I can see it got a little different than expected. Sometimes when I make batches of soap without a video, I don't have them to refer back to, but I still like it. Still think it's fun. I just did a swirl basically of the blue and the green, and then used the hanger to pull it up, and then just a little swirl there on the top. Now the story behind my All is Calm is the last batch I made a substitution, and it changed the scent quite a bit. It was marked in the listing, and one particular customer really liked that blend, and so I did have enough to make a loaf, and so we're just going to see what she thinks, if that's the exact one that she likes, and if so, she's going to buy the batch, and if not, I will list the remainder for sale. So we'll just see how that goes. I'm just now getting back into soap making. Most of the soap that I'd made, other than some hot process batches for samples, it's all been, it was for the holiday release, so finally getting back into it. It's great fun. I love making soap. And it's been fun to tone down some of the batch sizes and play around a little bit more. So today I've washed some soap dishes. I actually have two big batches to work on. I was letting some air dry, and then I've got to wash up another batch. I ordered some new molds and some storage containers, and so I was giving all those a good wash up before I use them. That swirl up in there is pretty. It's different, but I like it. And let's see, I made some Snow Angel wax melts because it was requested to bring that scent back. So I made up some of those. What else did I do? Oh, I prepped a couple of small batches of soap to work on. One's going to be a test batch, and the other is just going to be a regular salt soap batch. I veered off my path. The colors on the top were just a little bit stronger than they were down in the base of the soap. And I actually really like that blue. Isn't that wild? That is such a great blue. I mean, I like blue. I don't know if you can tell that by all the blue that I always have around me. The walls are blue. Got blue gloves, blue hoodie. There's usually blue in my apron. Okay, so now I just have a little end cut. I'll just set him aside. Now, I started to make a batch of Hey Dahlia for a special project, and it turns out that I didn't have as much of the fragrance oil as anticipated, so I split the batch up and I did a couple of loaves of Hey Dahlia, and then I did a loaf of green clover and aloe, because that's also been a requested one, and it was one of my good soaping friends requested it, and I think I was in Colorado at the time, so it's been a while. But like I said, I'm just now getting to the soap making, so that's what's up around here. I hope this angle is okie dokie. So this customer requested it to be more like the last batch of Hey Dahlia, so it was a little bit more swirled, the very first initial batch of Hey Dahlia that I made. I just love all these colors, it's just so pretty, and every batch is completely different. Even though I follow the exact same pattern of what I do before, or at least I try, it always ends up different, and that's just the nature of handcrafted goodies. Now, because I was pouring it into 2 loaves instead of like a big slab, it did turn out a little bit different because I poured, it was an in the pot swirl, so I poured a little bit into one mold and into the other mold, and then I came back and went back and forth just so that it would have a good distribution of the colors. Oh, that's a neat bar. So I will have a loaf of this to list. It's such a pretty scent. Just a fruity floral. That's one of my favorite blends, is a fruity floral. I hope everybody's getting ready for their holiday coming up and are feeling cheerful and happy. I know it's not been the easiest of seasons for a lot of people. There's been a lot of heartache, a lot of illness. I would say there's probably a bunch of unspoken requests from various people if you are of the praying variety. We're doing okay our direction right now, but I know that there's been some people that are really hurting this holiday season, so if you'll keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. So on the home front here, we have a herd now, for those that are keeping up with our cattle adventures. I had one particular subscriber comment and say, well, you know, one steer is probably not going to be good enough, that they are herd animals and they do like to have a herd. And this particular steer, Chucky, he was alone already, but hadn't been alone for a really long time, and me being the sad sap that I am, I thought he was sad and lonely. So we do have a couple of calves now. So we have a herd of 3, and they are just the cutest little suckers. I just love them. Unfortunately, they did get sick, both of the calves. Chucky didn't get it, but the calves both got sick, just an upper respiratory, just from the move. They're sensitive little creatures apparently, but they get really stressed from moving, and it was a stressful time for them being moved. They traveled about 45 miles, and so it wasn't close like Chucky was, where he got to just come down the road a little bit. But they're Black Angus, and just the cutest little guys ever, and I am happy. I love it. My oldest son is the one who, He's the one who does most of the feeding, and he calls them, they're his fan club because, oh, they just love it when he shows up because he's going to feed them. So he tells me that he's going to go feed his fan club. I just think that's so sweet. They're just cute little guys. We have quite the operation around here between our kids and our cats and our dogs, but we're happy. It's the way I like it. If life isn't busy, it's boring, I think. So anyway, that's our story. Ooh, this is a pretty one. So you can see that both loaves are a little bit different. This particular loaf got more of the greenish color poured into it first, and so it spread more up on the sides. The top wasn't too wild. I just kind of did a little swirl on the top. Okay, I'm running out of space around these here parts. I guess I will save the rest of this batch for a little bit of silent cutting at the end. That's something that people really enjoy. So this one is the green clover and aloe, and it is a flat loaf. It was kind of a last minute situation, so I decided just to put it into my Bramble Berry mold with my Bramble Berry silicone liner, just so it's easy. Oh, I have something I want to show you concerning this soap and colors and how they function. So I had a little bit extra that wouldn't fit into the mold, so I put it in my little animal molds, and look how different the color is. And that is the difference between it being gelled and not being gelled. So this loaf was gelled, and the color is just so limey and beautiful. And then in the ungelled, it's very sagey. So it's a mixture of 3 different colors that I mixed for this one. My little tissue here is, my paper towel is getting a little wonky looking. I think I'll get a new one. So anyway, it's quite a difference in color. This one I will probably, they're getting a little bit large. I don't know, I may leave them like that. I don't think they're gonna fit into the box at all. So normally I do the tall and skinny, so that would be more this away. So in fact, I may go slice the top off of this real quick like. Okay, so it turned out that I couldn't actually split anything off of the top of that one. There just wasn't enough to make a difference, so we'll probably just slice a little bit off. But look how pretty that is. This is our green clover and aloe. And I will be making some more of these soaps also. It's just that I realized that I could get 1 loaf in there, and so I did. I just fit it in. So what shows are everybody watching right now? I'm watching The Last Ship. I'm just watching it by myself. I tried to get my husband to watch it with me, but he actually was on a guided missile destroyer, and so he basically can't watch it because it's not, they have too many inconsistencies for his taste. But it's one that I'm enjoying watching it. I just started the 3rd season. I had to skip over some episodes because I didn't like that some of the crew were being held hostage. I just didn't like that part, so I skipped over that part. To the rescue. Oh yeah. Really enjoying watching the shows. The Last Ship. I'm always looking for new shows to watch. Seems like they go very quickly once you start watching them. We've been through Eureka and Chuck and what all. Trying to think of what, I'd seen all of those already, but I watched them with my boys. Okay, so I am going to, let me think here. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the Calendula carrot soap, and this is a double milk soap. I make this one with goat milk and buttermilk. I think I'm gonna have to turn this on its side. See if it's gonna drag some of those. This is a soap that is scented with essential oils. So it has orange essential oil and it has rosemary essential oil. I love it. It smells so good. This was a special request, but I made a full-size batch so that we all can have it. I add organic carrots to it, some poppy seeds. It does have a little bit of honey. I see I got a little bit, I'm just gonna cut it like this. I have a little bit of titanium dioxide crackling. It happens every now and again. I'm sure this batch got plenty warm because it had the honey and all the milks in it. But it's not bad. I don't know if we can zoom in enough if you can see that. Alright, anyway. Oh, it just smells so good. So good. This was one that I made years and years ago, and then it kind of dropped off of my radar for a while. And I remade it this past summer, and it was really popular, very successful, and I'm just now getting it remade. I also have on deck to make lavender essential oil soap. And what else? Oh, I need another batch of anise soap made because that one is a popular one in the essential oil line. And I think I'll remake mojito. That one was so good. It had lime essential oil in it, but it was more of a kind of a minty one in the end. But that little bit of lime was detectable. I just love how this looks. This is kind of like me doing a lemon poppy seed soap, only this is my variation of a lemon poppy seed type. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut the rest of the soap and just going to let it go for a little while. No talking for the people that enjoy just the cutting sounds and the process. So I'll talk to you guys later.